My boyfriend's best friend's wife got beat up on Christmas Eve, and it's all unintentionally my fault. My boyfriend, Patrick, 44 male, and I, 39 female, have been together for a year. He has a childhood best friend, Michael, and Michael's wife, Jessica. I know that in the past, my boyfriend was involved in a threesome with them and also slept with Jessica separately. While I didn't hold this against him, it was his past, I couldn't shake the feeling of distrust when they were alone together. I was aware that Michael and Jessica's marriage was rocky, but no one shared the full extent of their problems with me. Recently, Michael went into rehab for alcoholism, and Jessica decided to divorce him and move out. Patrick offered to help Jessica move, and at first I thought it was admirable and fully supported him, until he turned off his phone for 15 hours, stayed at her house for 2 nights, and acted strange when I tried to call. I got upset, but we made up, and life went on. The following weekend, Patrick helped Jessica again, and there were no issues. On Friday of the third weekend, I hadn't heard from him all day because we were both busy. He was helping Jessica, and I was at work. That evening, I called to check in before bed, but when he answered, he was drunk, and they were watching a movie together. During our brief conversation, I heard Jessica say, "I know that gets you off," followed by silence. I hung up and texted him, asking what that was about. He didn't reply or answer my calls. The next day, he told me it was just a joke, but it felt incredibly insensitive given my concerns about their relationship. I felt disrespected and suspicious. The following night, both Patrick and I were drunk, and we had a massive argument. Jessica got on the phone to try to defuse the situation and admitted she made the comment to provoke me. I spoke to her briefly, calmed down, and went to bed. However, Patrick stayed at her house that night again, making it the third night in a row over 3 consecutive weekends. Feeling hurt and betrayed, I impulsively messaged Michael to tell him what had been going on. Realizing it was a mistake, I unsent the message almost immediately as I didn't want to involve myself in their issues. This morning, Patrick was furious. Apparently, Michael still received the unsent message notification and had just gotten out of rehab. I reached out to Michael to explain, telling him I was upset over Patrick's behavior and that I'd been crying for days. I also admitted I wasn't sure if my relationship with Patrick was even worth it anymore. Michael replied with, "I can agree with that," and I didn't think much of it at the time. Fast forward to Christmas Eve dinner with my family. I got multiple angry texts and calls from Patrick. When I finally picked up, he was livid. Michael had driven to Jessica's house, assaulted her, and then kidnapped her. Later, he went to Patrick's house and threw Jessica's belongings into his yard. Patrick accused me of ruining Christmas for everyone. I feel absolutely terrible. If I had known Michael was abusive, I would never have involved myself. As a survivor of domestic violence, this has been especially gut-wrenching. I never intended for this to happen, and the guilt is eating me alive. After hearing Patrick's side of things, I don't even think he cheated. I've likely destroyed the best relationship I've ever had, but worse, I inadvertently caused a woman to be hurt. Patrick keeps calling me a terrible person, telling me I've ruined his life, Jessica's life, and everyone's holiday. I don't know what to do. I've struggled with alcoholism myself, and after everything that happened this weekend, I was determined to get sober. But on my way home from my mom's, I ended up buying a bottle of liquor. I feel like the worst person in the world. I honestly thought Michael had the right to know what was going on if I were in his position, but I had no idea it would escalate like this. No one ever told me he was abusive. I just wish I could take it all back. Tildar. My paranoia and jealousy unintentionally led to a woman being assaulted by her husband on Christmas Eve.